Hello dear friends, today we are going to see the game AC games of Alexander Alekhine. These games were quite attacking, but firstly we start with a positional game. So what should we start with? Well, it is a simple rule in chess that we should always start with d4. We'll skip the opening phase. In all the games we'll skip the opening phase and go to the middle one. Okay, so d4, d5, c4, e6, knight c3, knight f6, bishop g5, bishop e7, g3, c6, bishop g2, castle, f4, rook e8, knight f3, knight bd7, b4, a6, a4, knight to b6, b5, cb, ab, then ab, ab. These were gone, so rook takes on 8, knight takes on 8. Very early the rooks and the queen sides were exchanged. Now bishop takes on f6, bishop takes on f6, e4, queen d7, castle. Now rook d8, e takes on d5, e takes on d5. Now left with the isolated pawn is he? Yeah. So now g4, h6, g5, bishop e7, and then g takes on h6, g takes on h6, and h4. Now f6, h5, fixing the pawn. Queen to g4, knight to d2, queen takes on d1, rook takes on d1, rook to d7, rook to a1, knight to b6, knight to a4, knight takes on a4, rook takes on a4, rook to b7, rook to a5, bishop to d7, bishop to f1, bishop to f3 was played, rook b5, rook takes on b5, bishop takes on b5, bishop to g4, king to f8, bishop to f3, king to e8, bishop to g4, bishop to d7, bishop takes on d7, king takes on d7, king f2, bishop b4, king e2, bishop takes on d2, king takes on d2. Okay, right into the end game. King c6, king e3, king b5, king d2, king c4, king e3, king c3, king e2, king takes on d4. Now, well, here king d2, king c5, king c3, king d6, king d4, king e6, king e3. Many moves were played here, but here king e4, then d5 check, and then the game ended. Bogolyubov resigned. Okay, FM Bogolyubov resigned. Brilliant game by Alexander Alekhine. Let's move to the second one. So now I move to the second game. So let's move out to the second game. This game was between Richard Reti and Alexander Alekhine. This game was one of the best games of Alexander Alekhine. He just crushed Richard Reti. I mean, well, he is not the best continuer of the hyper modern openings. Alright, so let's start with d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop to e7, knight to f3, d5, bishop to g5, knight to c6, whatever, knight b to d7, e3, castle, rook c1, c6, queen c2, a6. Okay, great crushing, you know. So here h4, d5, a4, bishop b7, cb, ab, here, then these were gone. Okay, again queen side was exchanged very early. Bishop to d3, rook to c8, e4, this, bishop takes on g5, knight takes on g5, g6, queen to f4, queen to f6, queen takes on f6, knight takes on f6, and so here this was the position. Bishop to e2, then bishop, rook to a8, castle, rook to a7, rook a1, rook takes on a1, rook takes on a1. Let's exchange the other pawns. So firstly, rook e8, rook c1, e5, de, rook e, bishop to d3. Now f3, rook to e8, g4, h5, this one. So g takes on h5, knight takes on h5, and this was the position left. So king to h2, defending the pawn. Then here knight to f6, bishop to e2, rook to d8, then knight to b5, bishop to a6. Bishop to c8 was played, actually trying to play the bishop on a6. Now knight to c7, bishop to e6, knight to a6, rook to a8, knight to c5, then knight to d7, knight to b7. The knight needs to reach the square on d4. So where should it go to reach b4? f5. Where should it go to f5? d6. Where should it go to d6? Okay, the plan seems clear. Knight b6, bishop f3, knight c8, rook c2, knight e7, rook to e2, knight to f5, then rook to c2, and here knight to d4, rook to e2. And who resigned? You know, Richard Reti resigned. Nothing more left, because he'll play knight takes on f3 followed by bishop to d5, and it's just completely winning. So great game, he just crushed Reti. So now let's move on to the third game. So now for the third game. So this game, it is an exercise. All of the game was completely nonsense, but this was the position that made it very beautiful. I give you as many moves as you want, but you have to find a continuation. Like black is set, black is completely set, black needs no more preparation, he is done. But you need, I will give you many free moves, take it. So firstly, which piece should we improve? The biggest piece, the king. King h2, king to g1. Okay, if you found this, kudos to you. Then which piece should we improve? The queen. Where should the queen go to form the AA gun? Queen to c1. Very good. Then the rooks. Where should this rook go? To c2. Then where should this rook go? a3, c3. Then this bishop. Where should this bishop go? Bishop to d1, rook to d2, bishop to a4, rook to c2. Okay, done. Now the knight. Knight to f1, then d2, then f3. And white has reached their dream position. Black can't do anything. He is completely tangled. He can't defend against... wait a minute. b4. Very complicated. Let's say b5, knight a5, rook a, this. Oh my god, what's the result and end of this? No, this doesn't work. If you take, then b5. Then, wait a minute, let me play. So here was black to move, so black. Oh, black is in rook 1. Wait a minute, if we play g6, then what's the threat? Can't we just waste moves? h5, like gh, then g3. Okay, so h4, gh, then h5, king h2, and then if we say knight to b8, then takes. Oh, the knight was pinned. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so this is winning. Rook takes on c3 bishop. Oh, it is winning. Wait a minute. Rook takes on c3 was rook takes on c3. Then why should he play knight b6? He can just can't he play anything else? I mean knight to g5. Alright, knight to g5 works. Oh, no defense. And here the simple threat is knight to f7 check followed by knight to d6 check. How will you counter the threat? If you take, I take. If you again take, then I again take. So here king to e8, and I don't think balance should be restored. There should be a way to break in. Alright, and queen to f3, knight to g6. Wait a minute, if he tries to form a fortress, queen to g7, then knight takes on e6. Oh, powerful. Alright, so here queen f7, b6 check, king to e7, then the knight. Oh, he can just play bishop b takes on a7, nothing to do, he's just winning. Alright, so okay, the Alekhine's gun is very powerful. The former world champion didn't bring a gun to the tournament. So here, let's move on to the fourth game. So now the fourth game and the last. Here one more exercise, you have to coordinate the white pieces in the good way. So firstly, let's start with the most inferior one. So here first d4, e3, f3, g3, h4. He advances with the pawn majority very steadily. Then d2, c3, okay. Then a3, then king d2, queen c3 here. So the king comes to e5, very long journey. And now we have to activate the both rooks. It should go to the 7th rank. Rook c1, rook to c7, rook h1, rook to c6, rook to d6, rook to d7, and rook to g7. And here Jade's designed because nothing can be played. How will you save the rook? If you defend, then rook h7 check, king g8, and rook cg7 mate is coming. If you play the rook back, then also mate is coming with the same way. So you can't go anywhere and can't avoid. So, and if you play the rook any other time, it will be lost. Yeah. So now this was the four games of Alexander Alekhine. He played quite attacking, just thundered his opponents and forced them to surrender. What a player of Alexander Alekhine. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, bye. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to click the subscribe and bell icon. Thank you.